Welcome to my testimony, a show where we get to listen and watch stories from your favorite people, and today we have an amazing servant of God who has an interesting story. So right away, I'm just going to allow him to, introduce himself so that you can get to know him more. Tumishi, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Can you tell us who you are, what you're doing? Yeah, we'd like to know more about you.
Okay. I am Pastor John Isaji. By the grace of God, I'm pastoring a church in Juja town. It's called Hope and Restoration Worship Ministry. It's about 6 to 7 years old. And we thank God so far so good. And apart from that, I'm a family man. I'm married to one female wife.
Wow.
Her name is Anjela Chibalonza He. We are blessed with 5 children, 2 boys and 3 daughters.
Wow.
So that's my family. So and also I do some business here and there apart from ministry. So I'm an author as well.
Wow.
I've written quite some books. And I'm an evangelist, a traveling evangelist. I'm a motivational speaker. So I do a lot of things for the kingdom of God.
Amen.
Yes, that is who I am in few sentences.
Wow, you're wearing so many caps, an evangelist, an author, a family man, pastor.
Yes, businessman.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So just want to know, how did you start your ministry? What pushed you to get into ministry?
It's been a long journey. I was born in a family of believers.
Yes.
My father is an elder in the Pentecostal church called PAG.
Oh.
I was raised and born in PAG, baptized in PAG. So I've been serving there several years. But in all those years, the calling of God was upon me. And okay, I really didn't want to be at the center of ministry, but everything kept on pushing me towards the center of ministry.
Okay.
So I was born in a town called Eldoret, raised in Eldoret, school in Eldoret, and life was very difficult in Eldoret town until at some point I got into the streets of Eldoret.
Wow.
So I became a street boy, and a hardcore street boy in the town of Eldoret, because life back at home was not easy. My father was working for a company called Rivertex, and the company was not paying well during those days. So there was problem after problem, and there was no school fees. So I ran home and went to the streets. In the streets you can get 1, 2, 3 things to do, and you can shoplift. If you have mastered, you find people who teach you all that, so you can get some money. So I went to the streets, but while I was in the streets, I trained myself to be a boxer. I am a boxer. And that's how you learn how to survive in the streets. You must have some tactics to survive in the street.
Yeah.
So when I was in the street, I found a good Samaritan. His name is Reverend Dr. Charles Muli of Muli Children's Home. They used to come to preach to us in the streets of Eldoret. So when they came, they preached to us, and they told us, let's go home, we will provide food and clothing. I followed them to their home. Little did I know that they have a children's home. So I landed into that children's home.
Wow.
So I was rescued by Muli Family Children's Home. So I joined the children's home, and in the home there was a school. So I joined the school there. I remember that was class 5. Because I dropped out of school, so the highest class was class 5, which I joined, class 5, and there towards class 6 we moved from Eldoret and relocated to this side of Kambani Matu, Yata. That's where he located the home. That is where it is right now. So when we moved to Yata, I stayed in Yata. I did my class 8 in Yata. After successfully completing my KCP, I was called to Mishi Academy in Nakuru. Yes. So due to lack of school fees, and he could not manage to all of us to pay the schools for all of us, so I had to look for relatives to help me. So relatives helped me and took me to Kapsoya Secondary School, that is in Eldoret. So I went back to Eldoret. So in Kapsoya, they sponsored me for up to Form 2. They also ran out of cash. So another relative picked me again, took me to Kakamega. So in Kakamega, I joined Sheyue High School as a day scholar. And in school, I was very active. I joined the CU, became very active. In fact, in my second term of Form 2, I became the class rep. And I was just new in that school. So that helped me in the school, so I seek one of the school fees. So I could remain in class. So during that time when I was in Form 4, that is when I heard Anjela was coming to Kakamega town. So when I heard Anjela, that's Anjela Chibalonza. So we attended her conference. She had a crusade in another church. We attended a crusade. So we got inspired by her music, Gina La Yesu. So we began a dancing group in church. It's a church I used to attend there. I formed a youth group and a dance group. So we began dancing. So whenever she used to come for an event, we used to attend our meetings and begin dancing. So until one day she spotted a team of young boys dancing and they are in uniform. So she stopped singing and she called the boys, please, those boys who are dancing from behind, come dance with me. That was the break point for us meeting Anjela and starting working with Anjela Chibalonza. When we joined her on the podium, we danced the first song, the second song, and she said, from today, in this conference, until the conference is over, these are my dancers. No one should interfere with them. So, after that, I finished my Form 4, so I came to join the university in Nairobi. At that time, I also had an offer with KBC as a voiceover and an artist and help there, because I was very good at public speaking. I had performed well nationally, so I had been spotted by guys from KBC. So when I came to KBC and joined the university, so at KBC things were tough, so I didn't like her. I didn't like that kind of life, so I didn't proceed further because I was to join Kenya Mass Communication, but my aim was to be a doctor, so I really wanted to be a doctor. So I was taken to JKUAT. In JKUAT I didn't finish even a year, so I dropped. So another uncle picked me, took me to Nairobi Technical Training Institute to do pharmacy. Because I was waiting to join KMTC, I really wanted to be a doctor, but I could only go through KMTC. So as I was waiting to join KMTC, I was doing pharmacy on this other side. So the day I went to report for my course at KMTC, I found out that there were two names, and I was told my calling letter was fake. So that's how I missed KMTC and someone else was picked. So I didn't give up. So, and I left pharmacy and I said, this thing isn't working. So another aunt picked me because I was a bright boy in our family. So every member of the family wanted to support me in whichever way they could. So another aunt picked me. This aunt had an insurance company in town. So she told me, you can go pursue insurance classes in South Sea College of Insurance. Then you can work in my company. I'm giving you a job. Salary 10,000. Wow, the first job. 10,000. I was so excited. I said, this is it. Answered prayer. I joined her company. I became a clerk there. That's the first time I left and took my own house in Kurukanjenga.
Wow.
Yeah, I began life in Kurukanjenga. So I used to use the train from Bakasi, the one that uses Jogo Road. That was my means of transport to town. So the office was at opposite City Hall. So I worked for her, going to College of Insurance. So I graduated from College of Insurance, working for her. And by that time I had attached myself to Anjela also. I joined her church. She used to fellowship together with Bishop Mukadi wa Mukadi. So they had a church at KICC. So I used to attend their church services. But now when she got married, the husband began a church. So that's how I left where we were with the bishop. I went to join her and support her in ministry. So I went to support their church. But by that time I was working in an insurance brokerage for my aunt. Now my aunt joined politics. She closed down the insurance company. So I started tamaking, looking for jobs. Luckily, I got a job at Amaco Insurance Company. Began working there. Still in ministry with Anjela Chibalonza. So when we were doing ministry with Anjela Chibalonza, I learned that I used to travel with her. And sometimes I cannot keep memories of events. So I bought a camera. Yeah, I imported a camera. Just when we go, I record her meetings and I give her the clips and we edit. That's how I began editing and taking her videos. So luckily, she began doing videos with the Prince Cam Media. I joined Prince Cam Media, Paul Mukoma. So I used to go there also do some production with her. And by that time, there was a company that was beginning, was called the Spin Range DJs. And I also joined with them. By that time, DJ Syke and DJ Mo were students there. So we were with them together at this building that houses IBC. It's called along University Way. Yes, I just forgot the name. That's where we were. So, and now I was doing things for ministry, preachings. I edit there, sermons for pastors. So now I began editing as my side job or my side hustle here in ministry and working for insurance company. So that's what I was doing, and still the calling of God was in me. So until the fateful day when it happened, I was serving Anjela. Now I became her director, music director, because I had moved with her. I'd worked with her close to 10 years.
Okay, before you continue,
Yes.
I would just want to know, do you think the fact that you connected with Anjela, did it inspire you in any way? Like in ministry?
It really inspired me in ministry. The first thing among my hobbies is traveling.
Wow.
So Anjela was a traveler. So I loved traveling.
Wow.
Today we are here, tomorrow we are there. The other day we are here, we are in Mombasa, we are in Kisumu. So I loved and I enjoyed it. I said, this is it, this is what I want.
Okay.
I love traveling. So on the other hand, it also inspired me how she loved God and how she served with the dedication. So I really loved being closer to her, to see how she's really dedicated to God. So being a person who has been raised up in our Christian family, I found fulfillment in what she was doing. So I was inspired to continue doing it and doing it and doing it. And she used to encourage me every other day, telling me this is what we are born to do, the work of God.
And I'm just getting to, it's getting interesting.
Yes.
The fact that you were brought up in a Christian family,
Yes.
and all the struggles that you went through, even though you knew God, you were born again, and you went through all those struggles.
Yes.
You didn't feel like getting into ministry can be a bit boring, because now you see you're brought up in a Christian family, but you were struggling with so many things. Did that affect you in any way?
It quite affected me. Because even being in a Christian family, my father went through a lot. Until I said, I never want to be a pastor, and I don't want to be close to ministry, because sometimes you go to church, you pray, it is powerful, and you go home, you sleep hungry.
Yeah, it's true.
So I saw like it is never rewarding. So, but my dad used to tell us, the work of God is a journey, many steps. Finally, you shall have the last laugh. So he used to tell us, just have faith in God. The things of God don't come easily, because God wants you to esteem their value, their off. So this one also, when I was doing that, I said, he used to show us people have made it in ministry. So he had role models, people who had made it in ministry. So it just gave us hope, encouraged me. But I didn't want to be a pastor. I can't tell you, I didn't want, and I didn't like it. Because my father would come home very late, waking up very early, leaving us with nothing, coming with nothing. So it's
just
never easy.
preaching and coming back.
Preaching and coming back saying it is the work of God. You see, you try to look for that God with this God. Yeah, I had so
By
many
faith.
questions. Yeah, by faith.
Yeah.
So it was not a good thing or a good idea for me to study in ministry. Yeah.
So now we just want to listen to your journey with Anjela Chibalonza, how how it began and how it ended. That's quite interesting.
Yes. Now after meeting in Kakamega and I came to Nairobi, I joined her. I joined her team.
Okay.
I can tell you I was the only Kenyan in her team.
Wow.
If not, there was one director was a pilot with the Air Force. His name is Simon Masharia. And we were the only Kenyans who are running our events, running our diary, running our meetings. So I really honor that privilege. It introduced me to the global market. So working with her was interesting, encouraging. I saw miracles. The way she could sing and people come crying. I've never known someone can sing and people cry.
Wow.
I've never known someone can sing and people give their lives to God. And someone can sing and people are not leaving a meeting. They want the next song, the next song. And when you hear the message across the songs, very powerful. So this is what kept me glued to her. I really wanted to tap whatever she was carrying. So that's why when she left and went to begin her ministry, I followed her and went with her. We began with around 3 people in town. An icon, global minister, but the church had almost 10 people. We went to 10 people, we went to 20, we went to 30, we went to 50, 100. By the time she was dying, we were around 150. So the church had not really picked. It was still in the initial stages. But again, she was always out with concerts, events. And through that also, I learned to accommodate people because she was very accommodating. And she has hosted so many musicians. She has raised so many musicians. I remember at some point, even I was given an opportunity to host Solomon Kugwa in my house, Erasmo Shegezi, Iwa Tunda, all these musicians who are attached to her, they were also part of my family. So I learned a lot of things of how you can be supportive to other people, irrespective of how much you have. You can still support someone. It doesn't mean you need a lot of resources to support. So we worked in ministry and ministry was good, was rewarding. I saw the benefit thereof and I saw people turning to God. So that one gave me fulfillment. Even if you have nothing in your pocket, but lives have been transformed, your reward is in heaven. Yes. So that's how we worked together.
Okay.
Yes.
And when the accident took place, were you there?
Yeah. Now coming to the accident, now I can say there's no one else who was close to her life like me. And that's why wherever she went, I was there. Whatever she did, I was there. I used to take her to studios when recording. When after service, I take her home. I used to be a driver as well. So I had just submitted to serve. Dedicated to serve, to see her gift rise, see her rise in ministry. So when the accident happened, I was there. I was in the car, not in the other car or the following car or in the same car. So maybe to bring you up to speed on the accident, yeah, we had an event in Egerton University. Yeah, I know. So the students had prepared an overnight kesha. So in this kesha, they had invited Anjela as the guest artist. And there were artists like Akina Cedric. There were so many teams. I've mentioned them in my book. So this event was an overnight one. The first thing indication that this event would have problems, she missed her car. She didn't get a car to bring her to Egerton. So I had to be called as I was doing the sound in Kilimo Hall to come with my car and pick her from Nairobi. Because she doesn't trust another driver. The driver who was supposed to give her a car is not available. So I left Egerton around 3 p.m. coming to Nairobi after I ensured the sound was okay. So I got late to Nairobi because of traffic along the way. Arrived in Nairobi around 7 p.m. So I went to pick Nimrod Makori. The MC was also still in Nairobi. And remember the meeting was supposed to start at 8 p.m. We are still in Nairobi. So Anjela said, I'm not going. It's too late. I have a flight to catch. I can't go. So word went to the university that Anjela is not coming. There was a problem. There was a commotion. There was riots. Because they thought that they have been lied to. Yes. So the CU guys called us and said we have been arrested for organizing an event that has caused chaos in the school. Anjela, come and rescue us. It is that cry of that boy that made Anjela leave the house.